Joining us now to talk about this, Chris Markowski, the president of Markowski Investments and host of the Watchdog on Wall Street radio show. Chris, how concerned should investors be with the coronavirus? That would be something that we want to ask him, too, to get his take on that. Such a, again, major changes, major shakeup there on Wall Street.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on because we have cases in Italy and cases in, not only in China, but obviously here in the U.S. So, we've been talking to, analysts the last couple of weeks, and some said they're actually surprised that the stock market hasn't gone down this far because of it. But, there's a lot of indicators now that show that, we could be in some trouble for the economy based on what's going on over there. So there's, a lot of concern. And, we spoke to a doctor earlier and said, the cases are going to probably continue. Yeah.
Chris Markowski, if you're on the line, tell me about investors and how concerned should they be with the coronavirus specifically?
Listen, we talked about this a little over a month ago, and we knew that this was going to be an issue moving forward. And I really think the kicker over the weekend was Italy. I think when everything is in Asia, people say, okay, it's a little bit out of sight, out of mind. But then they hear Italy, and they know the brands, and they know the country a little bit closer. I really do think it affected people to a greater degree. Basically, we're going to see what's going to happen over the next couple of days. If we continue to see more cases come out, yeah, we most certainly could see more downside to the market. To be quite honest with you, I'm shocked that the market has held up as well as it has since this thing came out. And now I think it's starting to hit home a little bit more, and we could be due for a greater sell-off. But average investors out there that are putting their money away, that are smart, that have their financial plan done the right way, they shouldn't freak out over something like this. They really shouldn't. Trying to guess when the crisis is going to end or it might get worse is a complete exercise in futility.
Chris, there's a couple things that we've been learning as far as, indicators. You have the VIX, but you also have the Baltic Dry Shipping Index. Can you explain a little bit about that? Because we found it pretty interesting when it comes to how they check it and what it means necessarily for companies like Walmart.
Well, when you're moving prices from goods from point A to point B, and that's what they're talking about, the Baltic Dry Index, how much it costs to move items from one point to another point. And obviously, we've had some slowdowns in regards to global trade without a doubt, and obviously that's going to be hit. The VIX is more of a measure of volatility in the market, and obviously it went through the roof today because the volatility most certainly picked up. Another thing you might want to take a look at, Allison, is oil prices. Oil prices down close to 5%, I think, right around now. Last time I checked not long ago, and the fact that, hey, people are concerned it's going to be a global slowdown and there's going to be less demand for oil. So it's going to be lower prices at the pump here in the United States.
All right, Chris, real quick, I got about 20 seconds with you here. What do folks look out for the rest of the week? Does this only get worse, or is today just happening just only today, this spike?
Oh, I left my 1985 DeLorean away from me today with the flux compare. You know what? I'm hoping just as much everybody else is that this clears up. And obviously, springtime is around the corner, and people are thinking that it should improve there. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we have close to a 10% correction.
Interesting. Yeah, that's huge.
All right. Well, thank you, Chris Markowski, for joining us today and for your insight.